Welcome to this forecast for the Leo new moon occurring on August 16th, 2023. My name is Sarah Waggle, and I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. I use astrology, coaching tools, and energetic healing modalities to support you in moving through various transits and through your healing or awakening journey. In this video, you will find announcements pertaining to the links in the description box on this video, the transits surrounding this new moon, the new moon itself, and your sun and rising signs by chapter. Please feel free to move forward and backward through the chapters pertaining to your sun sign, moon sign, and your rising sign. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. A few announcements before we get into the new moon forecast. You can find links to follow me on social media platforms, including Instagram at Sarah Waggle, where I am live daily talking about transits, energy, and just my life in general. You can find me on TikTok at Sarah Waggle, where I not only post the daily tarot videos, but also the blind nomad journey and random other things on TikTok. You can find me on Threads at Sarah Waggle, where I do post text explanations of energies and what we all may be experiencing, or just relatable fun little nuggets. You can book a reading with me, whether it's a virtual Zoom one-to-one reading or a written astrological report giving you your big three in astrology, as well as any transits that may be affecting your natal chart in this moment in time. You can also find the link to my guest appearance on the Hearts Unleashed podcast with Abigail Gazda, where I talk about breaking up with your victimhood. And yes, I am available for guest speaking appearances, both in person and virtually. In person, of course, depends on geographic location. You can also find the link to join the Awakening Spirit Collective, a partnership where I have collaborated with other practitioners, and we all help support each other and members of the collective through this ascension, evolution journey. Through spirituality, there's coaching, guidance, oracle, chakra dance, sound healings, and of course I present some more in-depth information about the astrology. And of course, last but certainly not least, thank you so much for being here, being a part of my YouTube channel, liking, commenting, sharing any and all of my content. I greatly appreciate you, and thank you so much for being here. This is an overview of the energies around this new moon and the time that we're in right now with all of the retrogrades. We'll get to the transits in the next slide, but definitely expect the unexpected as this new moon does square Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is a disruptor in an earth sign, so there could even be potentially earthquakes or unexpected weather phenomena as we move through this new moon. Embrace what you need to adjust to as aspects of our lives continue to change rapidly and whatnot. Things are a bit slowed down as far as the change this month of August. However, in September, it will definitely kick up a little bit more. Relationships of any kind, whether it's specifically feminine energy as we're in Venus retrograde in Leo, but relationships of any kind, friendships, co-workers, romantic relationships, big upsets can occur as the nodes are now in North Node Aries, South Node Libra, but also the feminine energy around this Venus retrograde is particularly important to note. Discovering and exploring the things that make you shine. Venus really wants us to discover and participate and practice in the things that make us shine, whether that is your creativity, your work, your home life, whatever that looks like. And it's kind of like this release moment where in the relationships that do not allow us to shine as bright as we can and from a heart-centered, desired place are the relationships that probably need to go, whether that is a relationship to other people or a relationship to a job or a commitment. Perhaps you signed up for the commitment and now you feel obligated, and those feelings of obligation or guilt around a commitment may need to go. You may need to check them out. There's also heavy reflection, review, and contemplation as several planets are in retrograde. This is definitely slowing down the energy, pulling back the energy. In the daily tarots, the wheel in reverse has continued to pop up because we're in slow down contemplation mode. And so it's really an opportunity to try new things, not particularly throwing spaghetti at the wall per se, but trying things to find and discover what makes you shine, what brings you happiness, what brings you joy. I'm a huge fan of effortless joy. The things that make me happiest are the things that are pretty effortless and streamlined, or that make my life more efficient. Those are the things that I acknowledge that that's what's meant to be, and how it's meant to go when something comes together fairly effortlessly. So that's something to think about. Effortless joy. What can make you happy, but it doesn't take a lot of energy. It just sort of rapidly happens, right? So think about that as we look at the transits around this new moon and the transits around this time that we're in. All right, it's no secret. We've got a lot going on in the cosmic conversations. There's a lot going on energetically. Let's start with the retrogrades. We have Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Chiron, the wounded healer asteroid, all in retrograde. And we'll have more by September. So, and of course, August 23rd, Mercury will go retrograde. It's already in shadow. We currently have an ongoing T-square between Pluto and the North Node and the South Node, which have just recently moved into North Node Aries and South Node Libra. Pluto has retrograded back into Capricorn. And so just these 3 points alone, we've got a lot of that pullback, contemplation energy. As I mentioned, we've pulled the wheel in reverse multiple times in those daily tarot videos that I show on multiple platforms. It's definitely a reflect, review, contemplate. Are you sure you're doing the things that you want to do? Are you sure that the people that you're around want you to shine, want you to go to your highest good? And it really may be a time to more release of relationships, more release of jobs, more release of, I don't want to live this way. If you know, when humans realize that we deserve this fantastic, beautiful, joyful life, things might really change. So let's talk about Uranus and Jupiter, which are both in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, which is retrograde in Leo. This is an interesting energetic phenomena because Venus, which rules Taurus, is all about finances, self-worth, value. And these two planets happen to be in Taurus. And so Jupiter, which is all about expansion and abundance, wants you to have all of the things. However, you have to work for them, obviously. Uranus, which is a disruptor, is also in Taurus. So it's shaken things up on the self-worth, on the finances, on the values level of things. And so in chronological order, we had Venus in Leo square Jupiter on June 11th. Then it squared Uranus on July 2nd. Then on August 9th, Venus will square Uranus again. And on the 21st of August, it will square Jupiter again. Then Venus will station direct on September 3rd. Jupiter will station retrograde on the 4th, roughly, depending on your time zones. So on September 16th, Venus will square Jupiter again, this time Venus moving direct, Jupiter in retrograde, and Venus will square Uranus, now in retrograde, on September 29th. So I think it's interesting. I feel like it's very interesting to have these repeated aspects between these particular planets in these particular signs to experience while we're in the middle of this ongoing T-square between Pluto and the nodes. Pluto is about transformation on a deep soul level. It is the co-ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio is all about transformation. The North Node is an independent, headstrong Aries. The South Node is in balanced relationship, potentially codependent Libra. And so we have this opportunity to become individuals and capitalize on our own self-worth and our value as we move through the rest of 2023 and beyond. Because eventually Pluto will make its way back into Aquarius, where the individual and its participation in the collective will again matter. That is the definition of Aquarius. It's the individual and the collective. So these are some of the transits surrounding this new moon in Leo. So here's the chart for this new moon in Leo at 23 degrees of Leo, square Uranus at 23 degrees of Taurus. This means that the moon is conjunct the sun in Leo. You can see Venus is, the sun will, of course, cazimi Venus before it gets to the new moon. I believe the cazimi occurs on the 13th. The new moon is on the 16th, so about 3 days before the new moon, the cazimi will occur. That's a potential time to get some good downloads towards those Venus energies that I just talked about on the previous slide, that Venus is the ruler of the Taurus placements, and Venus being in retrograde in Leo is kind of a large part of this whole new moon process. We also have Mars, which is going to trine Uranus, so it's take action on the things that bring you joy. Mars and Mercury are about 3 degrees apart in Virgo, so they're going to be hanging out in about a 3-degree orbit of a conjunction. So not quite conjunct, but kind of Mercury following Mars through Virgo. And so one will probably make a mess and the other one will mentally clean it up, is kind of how that works. And you can see this ongoing T-square between the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra, and Pluto over here in Capricorn. And of course, we have Saturn retrograde in Pisces, Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Neptune's going to be around that 27-degree Pisces spot for, I think, until the beginning of 2024, when it will finally move on to 28 degrees. But these two planets, Saturn and Neptune, will be in Pisces until early 2026. That's a long time. So what else we got here? Of course, the new moon occurs at 23 degrees. Like I said, it's squaring Uranus and Taurus. We have that fixed fire energy, but still working with heavy cardinal initiation energy. Yeah. And then, of course, Virgo is more mutable energy, So there's definitely a lot around the heart-centered, what lights you up, your self-worth, your value, your finances, those sorts of things. There's definitely a lot around transformation, around codependency versus independent, being in a relationship versus not being in relationships, and transforming who you are and who and what those relationships are with this T-square. And of course, we have the how does everything fit into your health, your daily routines, and whatnot with Virgo. That's kind of the energy dynamic of what we're working with. So if you have heavy planet placements in pretty much any sign, but if you have planet placements in Virgo or Leo or the fixed signs, if you're in the fixed signs, you're kind of getting a relief because you don't have the South Node in Scorpio, you don't have Saturn in Aquarius, you're getting a relief. However, now it's a take action on what did you learn from the South Node in Scorpio. However, if you're in the cardinal signs, you're getting more of the transformative energy with the cardinal T-square that's persisting. So that's the chart for this Leo new moon. Let's talk about this lunation cycle that we are in right now. So between now and middle of 2024, the moon is moving in sort of not really a backwards, but normally we would have a new moon in Leo and then a full moon in Aquarius. However, on August 1st, we experienced the full moon in Aquarius. So the full moon of the fixed sign happened before the new moon in the fixed sign. And therefore, the lunation cycle starts with a fixed sign, but moves immediately into mutable signs. So, of course, we have the new moon on the 16th in Leo. On August 24th, the first quarter square moon in Sagittarius. On August 30th, the second of two super full moons for the month of August in Pisces, the first being on August 1st in Aquarius. On September 6th, we will have the third quarter square moon in Gemini, the balsamic darkening moon on the 10th of September in Leo. This is generally a time to check in, stay hydrated, rest more as things kind of come out of the woodwork a bit emotionally. But we'll have that balsamic darkening moon in Leo on the 10th. And on the 14th, we will have the new moon in Virgo. I have been finding that balsamic and darkening moons and new moons have been more draining as of late, specifically the last maybe like 5 or so lunation cycles. So I've started to point that out in my forecast just to give you a heads up if you're feeling drained or, like I said, fatigued or dehydrated during these times, these 4 days of the balsamic into the new moon. So you have a heads up as to when that energy might occur. So that is the lunation cycle that we're currently in. And now we will move into the sun and rising signs for this new moon in Leo on the 16th of August. Please feel free to navigate forward or backward through the chapters to find your sun or rising sign and determine which one will affect you the most. It's often noted that rising signs can see the energy, feel the energy more than your actual sun sign. So please feel free to navigate accordingly. Let's move into Aries. All right, Aries, this Leo new moon is happening in your 5th house, squaring Uranus in your 2nd house. This is all about your heart-centered, shine like a little kid, in a candy store, shine. You've got fifth house support, that's heart-centered, heart's desire, childlike playfulness, but could to potentially be inner child wounds that could be surfacing. Of course, you still have Chiron there in Aries in your first house, and the North Node has moved into your first house. So Aries rising, Aries moon, Aries sun could all be experiencing some form of independence or desire to be yourself, desire to be very bold. Aries is a very bold sign anyway. But be aware of this Uranus in your second house, your self-worth, your finances, your value, those sorts of things. You could really shine right now, but your wounds could be surfacing as you continue to move forward. As my coach told me over the weekend, new level, new devil, right? When we peel back layers and rise to the next level, we also peel back more layers of the healing onion that we are moving through. So this is a really good new moon for Aries, setting some intentions around that inner child, that heart-centeredness, that playfulness, that creativity, and all of those things, and really using your creativity to build value in yourself, to build your self-worth, to build your confidence, to build your independence. This is a really good new moon for Aries, sun, and rising. This is the new moon outlook for Taurus. This new moon occurs in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Taurus. Taurus, this new moon in Leo is in your fourth house of emotional intelligence, home life, maternal instincts, mothering, motherhood, and it's square Uranus in your first house of your personal appearance, how you show up, how you express yourself. Uranus being in your sign, you could have Uranus on one of your major planets or points in your chart right now. So as we work with this new moon, it could be about setting intentions to ensure that your emotional well-being has the time that it needs to be cared for. If you're a mom, you may be preparing for the new school year. That could be affecting your daily routine and you being able to emotionally care for yourself. Perhaps the kids going back to school will provide you the time and the space to take care of your emotional well-being. Or you're a mom who's going to miss her children once they go off to school. And this is all about the change or the upset in a new routine. So setting some intentions around your home life, your daily routines, your emotional needs, emotional well-being could be very beneficial during this Leo new moon for Taurus. This is the new moon outlook for Gemini. This is the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Gemini. Gemini, sun and rising. This new moon in Leo is occurring in your third house of communication, specifically written communication. It is square Uranus in your 12th house of duality, spirituality, karma, karmic endings, things of that nature. This could really be an opportunity, Gemini, as you have been through a lot in recent years. In your first house with the North Node in Gemini a year or so ago, you had Mars retrograde in your first house. So you could have been going through a hefty amount of transformative energy over the last couple of years, as have we all. However, you seem to have capitalized on it. But this really could be an opportunity for you to create time and space in your daily routines to find your communication between your highest self and or your spiritual guides as we move through this, this is really an opportunity to perhaps even write a book or write short stories or write a journal article around maybe your experiences, what you've learned throughout these transformative times for you. The third house is ruled by Gemini, in fact, and as you are the third zodiac sign. And so there is definitely something about your heart space and this third house new moon, Venus retrograde here, that could really be guiding you towards a spiritual connection, perhaps a karmic ending, perhaps a duality, as in earth to spirit conversation that needs to occur. Really feels like it's about communication between you and your highest self. That's Gemini. Cancer, Sun and Rising. This is your new moon outlook for the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Cancer. Cancer, Sun and Rising sign. This is a new moon occurring in your second house of self-worth, finances, and your value. It is square Uranus and Taurus in your 11th house of groups, communities, and technology. This new moon in Leo could be an opportunity for you to express yourself fully from your heart around groups, communities, and technology. Perhaps you've been wanting to start a podcast or create a social media group or create a virtual group of some sort, maybe even an in-person meetup group. And it's all about what you are, who you are, and your value and your worth, and not holding yourself back for whatever limited reason you may have. That you are worthy and valued in this world, that your presence is needed in this group or community, or to create this group or community, or be a part of this next advancement in technology. It's all about fully expressing from your heart center in a group, community, or through technology. That's Cancer for this new moon in Leo. Hello, Leo. This is the new moon in Leo outlook for you. This new moon is on August 16th, 2023. Happy birthday, Leos. Leo, Sun, and Rising sign. This new moon in Leo is occurring in your first house of how you show yourself to the public. So it is your time to shine, Leo. It is squaring Uranus in your 10th house of work, goals, public achievements, etc. So there's definitely a your shining moment for however you want to pursue your work goals, your public goals, your commitments, how you want to show up, what you want your physical appearance to be like. Leos could really shine right now and set some intentions around how they show up to their work. With Mars and Mercury in Virgo, could be some routines, could be some upset to those work routines, and still ensuring that you show up as your bold, courageous Leo self through this new moon. Definitely something around your appearance, of course, and your public goals, your achievements, and whatnot. This is the new moon outlook for Leo. This is for Virgo. This is your new moon in Leo outlook for August 16th, 2023. This is for Virgo. This is Virgo, Sun, and Rising for the new moon in Leo on August 16th. This new moon is occurring in your 12th house around duality, spirituality, karma, karmic endings, etc. Square Uranus in your 9th house of beliefs, broadening your horizons, long distance travel, etc. Virgos, you are going through a transformation, as are we all. However, you've got Mars and Mercury in your home sign, Saturn in opposition of your home sign. So you could really feel restricted, yet wanting to broaden and expand how things are going for you. You may be wanting to further your education, further your spiritual education with that 12th house new moon. You may be wanting to become a teacher or a philosopher. You may be wanting to travel or relocate for a new job or a new venture or educational opportunity. There's definitely a lot going on for Virgos right now, with so many planets and energy focused in their sign, opposing their sign, and now a new moon in their 12th house. With that 9th house Uranus, I do feel like there is some broadening and expanding happening for Virgos, and maybe it's just broadening and expanding where you geographically are, but broadening and expanding in big ways, philosophically, or belief systems, or maybe becoming your own spiritual guru. This is the new moon outlook for Virgo. Hello, Libra. This is your new moon forecast for the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Libra, sun and rising sign. Libra, sun and rising, this new moon in Leo is occurring in your 11th house of groups, communities, and technology. It is squaring off with Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house around transformation, intimate and or financial mergings, etc. There, you also have the South Node now in your sign. So there could be some intentions for this new moon around how you engage, interact, and show up to groups and communities and technology. There could be upsets to any of those areas with Uranus. There could be opportunities for you to transform and utilize maybe members of the group or community, maybe utilizing the technology to expand yourself in the group or community. Lots of different aspects here. The South Node is an opportunity to see where you can grow and be more independent and lean into the opposing North Node in Aries. So lots of opportunities to grow and expand in groups, communities, and technology to transform yourself throughout this new moon in Leo process. That's Libra. Scorpio, this is your new moon outlook for the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Scorpio. Scorpio, sun and rising, this new moon is occurring in your 10th house of career, goals, public achievement, awards, etc. It is squaring off with Uranus in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships of any kind, romantic, friendships, but I would say with this 10th house new moon, work relationships or work partnerships, being a part of a group, being a part of a partnership, and using it to catapult or enhance your career intentions, your career goals, to create that public appearance that you desire This is a Leo new moon, of course, so it's all about heart-centered desires, shining, that sort of thing. It's how, Scorpio, you can shine in your career with the right people in your career, in your field of work. This is the new moon outlook for Scorpio. Sagittarius, this is your new moon outlook for the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun and rising. This new moon in Leo is occurring in your 9th house of expanding your horizons, belief systems, higher education, philosophy, guru, etc. It is squaring off with Uranus in your 6th house in Taurus. I love this for Sagittarius. I think it's time for Sagittariuses to really broaden, expand, grow, travel, become a spiritual guru, set your goals and or your daily routines and habits around your expansion and really capitalizing on yourself and where you're going with your belief systems, shining them, using them to support you in gaining ground in whatever way that looks for you. Perhaps you're going to write a book, perhaps you're going to expand your social media, but something around this growth, this 9th house being a guru, expanding your philosophies and belief systems, and creating your routines, 6th house Uranus, around your belief systems and honoring them and using them for yourself and your own growth. This is the new moon outlook for Sagittarius. Hello, Capricorn. This is your new moon outlook for the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Capricorn. This is for Capricorn, sun and rising. Capricorn will have this new moon in Leo in their 8th house of transformation, mergings intimately and financially, squaring off with Uranus in the 5th house of childlike playfulness, heart-centered desires. This could really be about merging with partners who support your playfulness, who support and honor your heart-centered desires. It also could be you showing up as the heart-centered self that you are. It's really around your heart. The new moon's in your 8th house. It is also in Leo, and the 5th house is also Leo themed. So we really want to take a look at, Capricorn, what your heart truly wants, what lights you up, what are you willing to merge with, what are you willing to transform in order to show up from a heart-centered space, and perhaps even entertaining that inner child making some messes with Uranus in the 5th house. It's making some messes, perhaps even with those merging partnerships, is making messes with finances, making messes intimately. Who knows? I do feel like this could be some good energy for Capricorn, although with Pluto back in Capricorn, you could still be on the transformation struggle bus. And really, it's an opportunity to work through all of the everything that's coming up from the depths of your heart, from the depths of your soul, to work through or be okay with and fall in love with the shadowiness of yourself in order to shine like a playful, joyful child. This is the new moon for Capricorn. Hello, Aquarius. This is your new moon outlook for the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Aquarius. This is the new moon outlook for Aquarius, Sun, and Rising. This new moon is occurring in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships, whether it work colleagues, friendships, romantic relationships. It is squaring off with Uranus in Taurus in your 4th house of emotional intelligence, home life, motherhood, maternal instinct, etc. I really like this for Aquarius because Aquarius has kind of been through a lot in the last few years, and this is an opportunity to sort of rebuild or shift or recreate, reconnect, or connect with new. You've got an opportunity. Perhaps you've had a new home. You've moved to a new home. You've relocated, and now it's time to build some relationships, some partnerships around the people in your. You are all about community. You are all about other people in your home area, in your immediate area. You're also about being a mom, so this definitely could be some, maybe even some upset around motherhood or maternal instinct for you. Could also be some upset around emotional intelligence and emotional management as you build new relationships. Is this the people that I really want? What was I thinking? Oh my goodness. All of the things. So definitely in this new moon in Leo, Aquarius, set some intention around building new relationships, building new community, building a new home life or a new routine, and doing it from a heart-centered space, setting good boundaries and those sorts of things. But the intentions are around relationships and partnerships for Aquarius for this new moon in Leo. Hello, Pisces. This is your new moon outlook for the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. This is for Pisces. Hello, Pisces, Sun, and Rising. This is the new moon in Leo that will be in your 6th house of work routines, daily habits, health habits, and that sort of thing, squaring off with Uranus and Taurus in your 3rd house around communication and mindset and whatnot. I definitely feel like Pisces is going to be experiencing the need to change their daily habits and their daily routines to support their overall health and well-being. However, they're going to struggle with communicating that. Of course, Saturn is in Pisces, your home sign. However, it is opposed Virgo, which currently has Mars and Mercury, although not in any direct opposition at the time of this new moon. It still occurred, and the energy still exists and potentially persists for Pisces because this 3rd house, Uranus, causing upset, causing miscommunications. And so the intentions for you for this new moon in your 6th house could really be around solidifying or creating boundaries with communicating the routines and the habits and the structures that you need to have in place to support your overall health and your routines and your well-being. This is the new moon outlook for Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me for this Leo new moon forecast and astrology. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your likes, your comments, and all of your shares and coming back to watch my content. My name is Sarah Waggle, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.